use a towel, it should be on your person all the time. Never heard that before.
Well, I tend to agree with that somewhat, but I think they'd be hard fought to get that rule in with the younger players today. Brian Gottfried's of a mode about 10 years ago, and we're a little bit further back than that. But you weren't allowed to use a towel in those days. You had to, and you weren't allowed to sit down at the changeovers, and that was the only time you were allowed to towel off was at the changeovers. You just could not do it.
That's a great shot.
And Connor's joking around with the crowd here, orchestrating the crowd as he does so well throughout his career. And he just wanted Jay Berger to do a little bit more running there, and Berger's up to it. And here's the crosscourt. Berger tracks this one down, throws it up in the air. And that was the, look at this, back again. Berger gets this one. And Connors this time goes just a pat down the middle of the court. And Berger, look at this effort from Jay Berger. That's 3 times to and fro there. And Connors just plays and says, well, here's another one. Try that.
A couple of points like that will wear you out, won't it?
Well, that's why Connors, he realizes that he's a master at that with the experience he's had over the years. He goes back to the towel there. I think the players take far too long between points, being able to go back there to 30 seconds between each point. But that was the rule that the ATP brought in many moons ago. They've got to live with it.
By the way, Gottfried said to me, this is not an ATP position. This is just my own personal feeling. And another suggestion is that the players should not be allowed to bounce the ball but once. I feel like that one.
Well, I'll tell you about that. I mentioned just a few service games ago with Jay Berger. When he played Wielander at one stage in Rome, he bounced it 17 times.
It's a great shot from Berger, 15-30. 4-2. Connors leads it with a break. 4th set, down 2-1. Second round of the men's singles here at the French. The winner will play Jaime Izaga of Peru.
Izaga's playing some pretty good tennis.
Finalist at the Tournament of Champions. Lendl destroyed him in the final, but he beat Chang in the semis. He had a good tournament there.
Well, Connor's a little upset with himself there. He threw that one in the air, and that was a good play from Berger because he took the bit between his teeth and charged the ball, and it was the pace of the volley that upset Connors there. Just too much pace on it, and now a couple of break points for Berger to get back on serve.
Breaks of serve, 4 of them in this 4th set. We're back on serve now in the 4th set. 4 games to 3. Connors leads it. When we come back, Jay Berger will serve. Stay with us.
Forecourt on the right of your screen.
40. Connors is serving 4 games all in the 4th set. If you've been with us all along, you know that Connors won the first set 6-4 after being down 4 games to 1. But then Jay Berger, also of the USA, came back, won the next 2 sets. It is 4 games all in the 4th set, and break point for Berger. Live second round action, men's singles. Berger had love 30 in this game. Connors won the next 2 points. It's break point. Just long. Deuce. Oh, that wasn't more than about a foot long.
Connors had a few opportunities in this set too, Cliff, and has not been able to consolidate. He broke serve to lead 3-1, lost it, then broke again to lead 4-2 and lost it. Very tenacious effort from Jay Berger. Ford's fighting for his life.
It is 4-2 in the tiebreaker for Helen Kalesi in the match that you're watching, the tiebreaker. Here with Connors and Berger, it's deuce. 4-all. And another break point for Jay Berger. USTA clay court champion while doing Berger, and then he went on to Rome and beat Mats Wilander. He's tuned to the start. That's it. Breaker serve. It will be Jay Berger to serve for the match, but let's go back to court 1. Barry and Mary. Barry, what's going on?
Well, what's going on is we're at 4-all in the tiebreak now as Andrea Temes.
In the potential match game. Jay Berger serving. Drop volley on the first point. Great drop volley for a winner.
Silence, s'il vous plaît.
Somebody in the crowd is upsetting Jay Berger, talking when he's about to throw the ball up. He points to him, shrugs his shoulders and says, just a sec, I need some quiet, but that has only inspired the crowd to give him a tougher time.
Well, the crowd, as we've mentioned throughout this match, when Jay Berger gets a break of serve, very quiet. When Connors looks like getting one, it erupts.
15 low. 5 games to 4 Berger. 2 sets to 1 Berger. Connors, the number 9 seed in the championship.
Listen to the crowd reaction there. They're cheering that one that Jay Berger missed. They want Connors.
Sad part about it is that if they can help Connors by giving a tough time to Berger when he tosses the ball up, they may do it. Not to the extent that they do in Italy, Fred, but nevertheless, it gets your attention, doesn't it?
It does. It's a tough test for this young man.
15 all. Berger is 2 points from putting the number 9 seed out of the French Championships for 89. Beat Boris Becker at Indian Wells. He beat Andres Gomez there, and then Brad Gilbert before losing to Yannick Noah. Beat Jim Pugh there in the first round. In Charleston, Claudio Panatta, then Jim Courier, Luis Matar, who beat Noah, Frana, and he beat Duncan in the final. It's been a good year for young Jay Berger. 30-15. Just wide. 30 all.
Well, Connors, if he goes down, is going to go down swinging because he was never tentative at all throughout that rally. Connors, he stroked a couple of two-handed backhands and then went for the forehand. It was Berger that came up with the unforced error.
Silence, s'il vous plaît.
Kids' day today here, and you can hear them.
Mesdames et messieurs, un peu de silence, s'il vous plaît.
Berger's waiting for silence.
Premier service.
pressure. Berger listening to the crowd, wondering if they were going to make a noise while that ball was in the air. Apparently they did.
Well, they're not going to get away from that. I think the call from Richard Ing says, well, you can see the ball in the air, you've got to watch it, but that's a tough one for young Jay Berger, because he made the first overhead, but he didn't do much with it. Hit it back down the center of the court. Allowed Connors to get back in the point. Connors knows that he's only got to throw it up in the air for the crowd to make some noise, give him a helping hand.
Merci.
The pressure now squarely on Jay Berger. If he put that overhead away, it had been match point. Now it's break point for Connors. It's long, and Connors has broken back. It's 5 games all, and 2 sets to 1 for Jay Berger.
Incredible effort from James Scott Connors, the veteran there. It was a good return. Berger decided he wanted to make that point as short as possible. He hit a good first serve and elected to go into the net to try and quieten the crowd down and miss the volley. He's not comfortable in that position. So Connors back even. In 6 service breaks in this 4th set, and neither player has been able to consolidate that situation when they've broken.
Berger's had 22 chances. He's broken 9 times. Connors has broken 8 of 15. Better percentage.
Connors is to win this game. This crowd will go crazy.
Counts 7.
It means, though, Fred, doesn't it, as you look at that stat on chances to break, that Connors has been in all kinds of trouble on so many of his serve games.
Merci.
Flew on him. You heard him say, get over it. He means get over the ball. And that was the problem. 15 all. Connors wins this game. The worst that can happen to him is he gets into a tiebreaker in the 4th set.
Unbelievable point there from Connors, and he's made that great approach shot. Here it comes. He only likes that one volley. He gets it. Perfect angle. This is clay court tennis. A little deep on it there, but Berger at full stretch makes this one, but Connors has the open court. That's the approach shot, the first one. And look at his way he sets up for that 2-handed volley. Good positioning. And then the easy put away. There's the man that's worried about his buddy Jimmy Connors, as Connors threw that one long there. Gerolaitis has been working with him, and he's much rather be out there. It's the same there. Connors is over there. You can see where Gerolaitis is positioned. The same with all coaches, whether it's Roach with Lendl, or it's tough to sit there and watch. This match has been in progress over 4 hours now.
Connors is 36 years old. Gerolaitis 34, so between the two of them, they are by far the oldest doubles team. Gerolaitis got a wild card in the doubles with him, as you know.
That's the shot that if Connors can keep working it, has paid dividends for him, as that off forehand or the one out wide to Berger's forehand. Berger seems to be moving a little better to the two-handed side, getting used to that single-handed forehand.
Berger hasn't played that many three-set matches this year. He's played a lot of tennis. He's only played 4 three-setters. If he loses this point and ultimately this set, it'll be, of course, his first 5-setter. In fact, this is his first 4-set match of the year. That was a good time to sneak into the net. A good approach shot, too. Just never gave Connors time enough to get to it and make a passing shot, which is dangerous, but it was well enough played on the approach shot. I like Connors himself. Deuce.
Merci.
He broke his racket string. Watch this. He has. That's why he's slicing the ball.
Connors knows it.
Yep. All he's got to do is keep it in play.
Go on, Connors. I can't believe that.
Jay Berger can't believe it either. He's playing with a broken string in his racket. If he hits topspin, the thing is going to fly on him. He knows it. Connors knows it. And Jimmy felt the pressure, believe it or not. As we've told you before, Jay Berger strings his racket very tightly. He's using a frame that is no longer in production. It's a Prince Pro racket. We saw him in Charleston, South Carolina. Mary Carrillo introduced us to the story. He's still staying with the same racket. Why wouldn't he? He's been successful with it. He has them strung constantly because he has 3 or at the most 4 frames that he can play with.
Halfway through that point, you knew that Connors sensed that he'd broken the string, and then Connors just tried to keep the ball in play. He went back for that overhead that Berger threw back with the broken string and then just rolled it out. Just missed it.
Break point for Jay Berger. This is the French Open Tennis Championships. You're watching Jay Berger and Jimmy Connors. Connors won the first set 6-4. Berger won the next 2. The score is 5 games all. Break point for Berger. Second round, men's singles match. Cliff Drysdale, Fred Stoller talking to you. It is deuce. Court number 1 by Tompkins, Mary Carrillo.
Égalité.
And Kim Prince has been traveling the streets of Paris, coming up with some delightful stories and Paris postcards. First Wednesday of this 2-week championship. We will be with you through Saturday this week and back again on Monday through Friday of next week with live coverage. of this great championship. It's more than just a tennis event. It's wide. Another break point for Berger.
He was upset with himself there for pushing the backhand rather than stroking it, rather than hitting it. Didn't get through the ball. On both those break points, Jay Berger has gone, one with a two-handed backhand and then that one with the forehand, and both of them was missed by a good 6, 8, 10 feet. Just incredible misses, feeling the pressure at this stage. Also the crowd, all with Connors.
Service.
Point for Jay Berger.
He's played well to get there, and then when he gets the break point, can't get the ball back into play. Let's see. Third occasion. You really can't get this many chances against a man with this much experience.
Wide. Deuce. 3 break points. Connors hangs on. Berger served for the match in his lost serve game at 5 games to 4. Connors broken.
There's that full stretch again. Jay Berger covering a lot more court than Connors. Connors there didn't go for the short one. Look at the depth on this thing, right inside that baseline. And Berger there, look, he just cannot control that one. Great tennis.
Meantime, sorry, Fred, Alberto Mancini outside court won the first set in the tiebreaker that you saw. He leads 4 games to 3 against Martin Heite, also of Argentina, in the second round. And the second set. Deuce.
Cyclops called that a fault. You heard the whistle.
Fourth break point for Berger. He was an All-American at Clemson University, and if you remember, as we watched him play down the Wild Dunes, he'd write notes to himself during the changeover. Very intense young fella.
This is the longest game of the match so far.
Berger is 22. Connors is 36 years old. Fourth break point of this game. If he If he's successful, he'll serve for the match for the second time.
Merci. Silence, s'il vous plaît.
Again, Berger cannot make his opponent play it.
Égalité.
Three-quarter pace serve from Connors. Look at the distraught look on Jay Berger's face. Just cannot believe it. This is, if I'm to win this match, I have to make him play on the break points. Deuce for the 5th time.
Avantage, Berger.
Connors had Connors had game point in this service game, led 40-30. Berger got back, but this is the 5th game point in a row, 5th break point in a row for Jay Berger. He has not been able to convert.
Finally, after 5, he has converted, and the man from Clemson, who now lives in Florida, Jay Berger, will serve for the match for a second time when we come back for our live coverage of the French Open from Paris. Stay with us. If Philippe Chatrier, who is president of the International Federation and chairman of this championship, had his way, this championship would be known simply as Roland Garros, in the same way that when you talk about the great championship of the All England Tennis Club, they call it just Wimbledon. But it is the French Open Tennis Championships. You're watching a second round men's singles match, 4th set. Connors down, Berger serving for the match.
You're not going to call the US Open Flushing Meadow, surely?
I don't know, Fred, I guess not. Or Flinders Park, the Australian.
Once again, the crowd are going to impose themselves on this game here once more. So Jay Berger has to really get his concentration intact and just think of everything inside those white lines and not in the stands. Very difficult thing to do, serving for the match. 30 all, a bad bounce there. Jay Berger scooped it out. That's what allowed Connors to get to the net. A fine cross-court pass by Berger. 2 points from victory. Serve and volley from Berger there, a surprise move. Match point.
Mesdames et messieurs, silence s'il vous plaît.
4 hours and 36 minutes of play.
S'il vous plaît.
Jay Berger is through in 4 sets. We'll be back. French Open Tennis Championships brought to you by Alfa Romeo, and once again today by Jimmy Connors, yesterday by Yannick Noah. These slow clay courts here, Fred, just do wonders for this great game of tennis, but Jay Berger won it in 4 sets.
Well, we felt that Berger would give Connors all he could handle today, and so it's Jay Berger now through, and he